Hello, you Warhammer players, and welcome to the definitive podcast for the Warhammer 40k enthusiasts in the inland northwest. Your hosts are me, Jeremy, all day 40k Nakano, and Joey, Beddingfield Painting. Beddingfield, how we doing, Joey?
I'm doing pretty well.
Great to hear, buddy. You can find me on TikTok at allday40k and Joey on Instagram at Beddingfield Painting. Also, if you want to support us financially, come join us on Patreon at Yacht40k. Today, however, we have with us a wonderful guest. He is the man with the Astra Militarum intangibles, the P&W Warlords team mom, owner of Windy City Toys and Collectibles, Bailey Strom. Welcome to the pod, Bailey.
Thank you for having me, guys. I'm excited to be here.
Bailey, so you are one of the more prevalent characters in 40k in this entire region.
As far as knowing everybody, probably, yeah. I know a lot of
nobody. For any notable player who's been playing competitively knows Bailey Strom. So we're really happy to have you. Can you tell us about some of the armies that you're currently playing?
Yeah, absolutely. So for the past 3 months or so, I've mostly been focusing on Astra Militarum, especially with the precious gift that was Grizzled that was given to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I also main CSM, and so have done a lot of games with that, especially with all the new goodies we got recently with that. And I also love Custodes. That's one of my favorites. And I've been working really, really hard to make Imperial Agents go at least 2, 3, maybe win an RT with them. We'll see, but that's been my private goal for this year, is to make Imperial Agents work, because I have the army, so I might as well try. But definitely,
you would be the one player in the region actually playing them, I feel like.
I think so, from what I've seen, because so far, you just got to take them to 4 RTs to get best in faction. I'm totally giving this away right now. Everybody with the Imperial Agents armies are like, oh my gosh. So just taking them gets it almost. So now I have to at least try to win one so that I can protect this this
and then show up to LVO with him, get best in faction against the 5 other people there.
If that. So we'll see. But Guard is my main focus. It's my love. I have over 50,000 points of them. And it's a massive collection of Astra Militarum. I've been playing them since 5th edition. I have hordes and hordes and hordes of guardsmen, 32 Lehman Russes, so many tanks. Because I don't really believe in magnetizing. I've started to, but
that's fair. I mean, you're a little late.
It never really happened
to start now.
100%.
Yeah. it probably helps that you've been playing since you were just a baby.
So we laugh.
And that you own and run a Warhammer store.
Definitely. It's been a massive part of my many armies, because as sure as you guys know, between me and my business partner Nicholas Fromme, we have almost every army in the game. So which is
painted,
great for loaning,
with all the units ready to play. It's amazing, actually.
We're getting there.
And you're both great painters, which is awesome. Because so many people that have all of the armies so rarely actually paint them.
Yeah.
So to any quality, right? So
I'd agree with that. Yeah. 100%.
I have one more question for you before we go into other stuff that we've been up to. As a store owner, what is the army that you recommend to any person that comes in as what is the army that I should play if I'm a brand new to Warhammer 40k player?
That's a great question. And this is something that I talk to my managers in my store and my team members in my store about constantly, because especially in its current state, which is good, I think, but still in its current state, I would consider that a really important decision when you're getting into the game. And I, at my store, have a lot of new players all the time. And I think if I was to advise someone on an army to play, it would probably be World Eaters right off the bat. And my only reason for that being is I think they have a really solid rule set that is fun. And it doesn't require a ton of investment, if that, cash investment, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
You have good shooting units, some. You have really exciting melee, which is new players love to get in there with their characters, get down and dirty, have epic brawls, and you get to see that. And you can paint them a lot of different ways, because World Eaters themselves in the current lore don't really exist as an army like in themselves. They're like a whole bunch of war bands all over the place. That gives you a lot of
Yeah.
freedom. And you don't have so like I would say Space Marines, but as you know, that's quite an investment these days.
Subscription center, baby.
Yeah, 100%. And I think a lot of the other armies like Guard or
Give me
Emperor's
one
Children, where you
second.
really don't have a lot of shooting, and with Guard, you don't have a ton of melee. There's some field bads when you have the army and you're just getting started because people tend to buy what they think looks cool, and you can be disappointed when you buy, for instance, the Space Marines. You love Phobos, and you buy an entire 2,000 point Phobos list, and then you show up to a table and you don't kill anything, and you're kind of
You get
sad.
shot off the table immediately.
Exactly. or with guard, and you're like, I'm gonna play melee guardsman. And now there actually is some lists where you can kind of make that work, and definitely like make charging guardsmen work. But you're gonna it's also gonna feel a little bad at times if you're getting started and that's your goal, because you see this lore video about melee guardsmen and you're like, this is so great, and you put it on the table and you're a little sad. With world
Yeah,
eaters, what you like about their lore is what you get on the table:
that's fair.
violence,
That's fair. I
cool
think Chaos
moments.
Space Marines in general is probably one of the better places to start because their range is a little smaller, but you have every ounce of variety that you can. Great shooting options, great melee options, and then you could lean in one of those other army directions.
Yeah. If you
Like,
like vehicles, there's lists for you. If you like tons of dudes, there's lists for you. If you're a cultist fanatic and want 100,000 cultists, there's a list for you. And it's good.
I was gonna say I was actually messing with that list this week. It's cool as hell.
It is cool.
if somebody comes in and says, "I want to play Grey Knights as my first army," how do you react?
I try to convince them to not, but then, like, and I know that sounds absolutely terrible, but I am a store owner that really wants people to get armies that will keep them playing, because as a store owner, from the money per side of life, that makes a more consistent customer than someone who buys an
Mhm.
army, hates their life, and never plays again.
Yeah,
Not saying that happens with Grey Knights, but it could. Uh, but I think with Grey Knights, I would advise them to build like as flavorful and fluffy as a list as possible, and just I right off the bat tell them this is kind of going to be an uphill battle if you're looking to play competitively. But if you're looking to play fun, like crusade wise or narrative wise, I think there's some options for you. And they're a cool army to paint, even though the models are old. They're still cool army.
yeah. The with the models being old, anytime that someone's like, "I want to play Grey Knights as my first army," I'm like, "Just look for a used one, man. You can get it cheap."
Oh, 100% right now, especially with an impending line refresh.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
a lot of
bound to
people.
happen, right?
It's got
Nah.
to. They either go away or they get refreshed. It's got to one of the two,
Pick a side. I don't care. The Terminator edition, Grey Knights didn't get new Terminators, and I'm still mad about
as you should be.
it. Joey, what have you been up to lately, man? Like, what you been painting? What you been building?
Okay, sorry, I had to mute myself. I was yelling at my child. But um, I've been working on finishing the last two now, just the last two units for this Cabalite Cartel list. Um, which has been going pretty well. My Drukari scheme is fairly simple, and more importantly for me, it's fun for me to paint. So that's nice that I can kind of just sit down and get some stuff done. So it's a Venom and 10 Warriors is all that I'm working on right now. They're battle ready, but I being that it's not like the 50 witches and 20 hellions that I had to rush to be done. Like the rest of my Drukari looks fairly decent, so I like to kind of keep it that way if I'm only adding one or two units at a time.
Right.
So I've been doing that, and then um, what really helps my hobby, Jeremy?
What's that?
Not having to magnetize my bases.
Oh yeah, tell us about it.
Yeah, yeah, I really like not having to magnetize my bases, and there's this really, really cool company called Squadmarks.
Squadmarks.
Squadmarks, who sponsors us. We have a link in the description. You can use our affiliate link, and you can use our code. Right now, it's YOPK.
Yeah, it's really
We
fucked
are.
up.
I am in conversation with them of trying to get that changed to 40K. But in the meantime, it's YopK, and you can use our affiliate link, and you can get yourself some little squad marks, whether you just want marker or squad like marks, really,
Yeah.
to
We should really
differentiate your
design a
squads.
commercial for this so we don't have to struggle through this anymore.
I know.
All right.
I know he should, but yeah, just that. They're great. They're fantastic. Don't magnetize
Identify your
bases.
units with squad marks. Hey-o. All
Heyo.
right.
Anyway,
What
that's
have
what
I
I've
been
been
up to? So I built, or sorry, not built, but I painted 10 Sternguard to my current like highest level of painting over the weekend, and my hand still hurts. Um, and then I touched up my Land Raider today, and then I started my 10 JPI because I'm running them as Vanguard vets right now because fuck those old models, I can't stand them. I refuse to buy them, especially considering we're going to get new ones in a few months anyway. So I'm refreshing them so that I can run around and have a pretty good running for, top painted or at least best overall, like in the top 5.
Mhm.
Paint's so steep out here that I have to do that in order to even get close.
Yeah, it's pretty
Um,
rough out here.
yeah, when you go to tournaments with, Drew and Wyatt on a regular basis, it's like, all
And
right,
Bob's
well,
coming back.
oh yeah, Bob's back, and Bob just so for those of you who have never played with Bob from the Gamers Haven, Bob is one of the most number one, probably the most influential human being. In fact, I believe you used to play in his store when you were just a BB.
I did. He got
Um,
me into 40K, 100%.
exactly, and he's been pushing the hobby forever, and we all love Bob. But his ability to convert like every model, like I was walking around his space and just like looking at all of his stuff recently. It's amazing what he's done over the years. But his painting is out of this world.
It's mildly,
Um,
mildly infuriating
yeah,
how good he
just
can make a black scheme look on an army. It's like,
it's really really incredible, and he's working on new stuff now, which is really fun because he's got all of his stuff is old because he hasn't played 40K in forever. Um, so yeah, it's amazing. And it's fun. It's really fun to be in a place where your hobby is pushed constantly if you want to try to
Mhm.
compete at it, because it just elevates everybody. Because even the lowest painters are like, well, I got to try a little harder, right? And we all love that.
which,
Um,
speaking of hobby, I did bring a model to show off.
ooh,
I knew
let's
you
see
guys did
it.
this, so I wanted to.
Yeah.
So this guy, for all you people out there that think Forge Fiends look a little silly like me, I have
Ooh,
been converting mostly because I have scads of the Psychophage Tyranid model. I have been converting them into Forge Fiends,
that is so cool.
and
Hell
I
yeah.
think it turned out really good.
I love
Yeah.
all the flames.
Yeah, that's
Oof.
that's just part of the
That's just
model
on the
for the
that's on the
Psychophage. Yeah,
psychophage.
this was
Really, I
like a
didn't realize that.
pretty. Yeah, I took the head off the Forge Fiend, and
Okay.
that's right here. And then the gun mounts actually went pretty easy, just like onto the sides.
Yes,
And I think I'm gonna try to do 3 of them because I love it so much.
dude,
Yeah,
that's sick.
that's sweet. It gives them more demon side of it, which is really cool.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go, Demon Engines. Okay. Before we bump into our primary content, let's take just 30 seconds here to thank Baron of Dice for sponsoring the show.
Ha! Bad roll. That's okay. Because I'm having more fun than you ever do. Maybe when I roll ones. How do I get you to shut up? Go to Baron of Dice and then buy some dice so that your army is this lame. Then let me take your sister out. What?
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to our primary content window. We are going to talk about the most recent PNW Warlords tournament that Bailey hosted just this past weekend. Tell us a little bit about it.
Super fun event. Definitely on the smaller side when it comes to GTs, but that didn't make it any less competitive or any less cool. We probably had the best of the Tri-Cities crew up with us, as well as we had Ken Bush and Joshi from Joshi 40K. They were down. Ken was playing his sisters, which was really cool because I haven't seen him play those in a while. And
Yeah, he's been
then
on demons for a minute.
Joshi was rocking his guard, of course, and just slaying. And as a whole, it was pretty cool to see. We had a pretty wide variety of factions that showed up, of people out of the 22 people that came. We had a pretty wide variety of factions show up, though there was still, I think we still had 3 Necron players, as well as, and they were all running what you'd expect, except for Alexander Sherman. He was running kind of a funny Necron list, but it worked well. When you have the good stuff, so when you got a Catan and you got the Wraith brick and then the guard bricks, the warrior bricks, those, it's really hard for a lot of armies to chew through those.
Yeah, for sure.
We had a pretty good showing of knights as well, which I think every event you're going to have quite a few knights, but we had,
Yeah.
we had 2
Anybody
Imperial
who goes to
Knights.
competitive events,
Yeah.
it's the easiest army really to lug
Sure.
around, right?
Yeah, exactly. Ironically, because it's so large. But it was a super great event as far as people showing up. Everyone did great. As far as we had great sportsmanship across the event. And as a whole, I really think I was hoping to see a little bit more variety when it came to changes in lists and the meta itself. That's when I TO events and can't play, which always makes me sad. I like to watch the top tables and glean as much information as I can. And those tables were really exciting games. And I did get to see a few things that I maybe didn't think about before. And that was pretty great, especially when it came to watching both Ken and Joshi absolutely do great. But it kind of gave me an idea of, I know a lot of people are still really struggling with Necrons and dealing with Necrons as a whole. And I watched both Josiah, who's one of our guys who plays World Eaters. He's a World Eater
Love Josiah.
faction.
Love
just like
Josiah.
champ.
Monster.
Watching Josiah, watching Joshi, watching Ken deal with Necrons over and over and over again was pretty cool. And the methods they did it were all relatively the same, which was kind of cool. So I kind of wonder how many armies can replicate that effect of kind of using waves of different models to achieve a certain goal in their own like faction specific way, which is
For
kind of
sure. I'm actually curious, what did Josiah's list look like? Because obviously right now the damage 2 melee meta isn't great, but he went 4-1. In that room is really, really good. So like what did he bring in, like kind of how did he play it, just to give some hope to those damage 2 army players?
So Josiah was really, he waited to the last second to submit his list. Me and him were messaging a bunch all the time, and he was just like, should I do this? Should I do this? And ultimately, he actually went against my advice, which was not to bring Angron, and it paid off big time for him. Not even because Angron came back, but Josiah is just so masterful with his use of his Angron that it worked out pretty well for him. But he had Angron, Karn the Betrayer, and a Slaughterbound. Then he was running a full brick of 10 Khorne Berserkers, Chaos Rhino for them with Karn. And then he had 2 Chaos Spawn, an 8-bound, 2 Exalted 8-bound. And with that points drop, he brought 2 Forge Fiends, because we got a little bit of a bump. And he brought the 2 Hellbrutes, which I was excited about. I think Hellbrutes are just, in World Eaters, are just the MVPs.
Yeah.
Watching them bounce through a Tau army in their backline is probably one of my favorite activities.
Oh yeah. Fair. Okay.
And then they killed 1,200 points in a single turn. And then he got 2 units of Jackals at the end.
I love
really
God,
solid
Jackals
list.
are so good.
They do great damage. There's nothing worse than slamming into a Jackal squad with a full brick of Warp Talons, wiping them out, and then losing like 4 Warp Talons in return and being like, those were 65-point cultists. What the heck? But his list did super awesome. His game plan was pretty similar to what he's done before, but Spawn come out, they bomb in, they tie things up. He also had the Jackals, of course, one on the back point, but another one kind of coming out to do loose skirmishing. Usually kept a Hellbrute and Deep Strike. One started on the table, kind of to threaten. Then the one came out of Deep Strike, hopefully, like I said, for that back line, conga, bing bong, just destroy everything it touches.
Mm-hmm.
And Angron would usually start on the board, and you use him like a death missile. He shoots in, he kills as much as possible before he dies, and then you roll 6s like crazy and hope you get him
he
back.
comes back.
Easy.
But yeah. And the Forge Fiends acted as kind of like they went up the sides of the board, just firing, getting as close as possible to be as close as possible, and lighting up big bricks. They were kind of a tech for the expected Necron warrior blocks as well as the guard blocks for like Astro Meltarm.
Gotcha. Quick question: the expected Necron warrior blocks. I don't play enough Necrons to really know them. I just get frustrated playing against them. But what is it? Why are people bringing the Necron block, the big blocks? Is it just for the lethals into Catan or what?
So, I mean, that's super big. You can get them up to pretty high AP. Let me pull out. I have my event pulled up so I can pull it.
You can get a 4-up invul, and you can get without. I think before the strat, it's 3 reanimations, and then with the strat is 4.
Something around there. And if you have Illuminator Ceres near them, they can be even tankier. And you throw in the Technomancer character into them, I believe, as well. And then you also have those new from the kill team, those little those little tiny annoyances that sit there and have a bunch of wounds and are relatively tough. And the whole thing's got to feel no pain. It's
Okay, so it's just the unkillable warrior bricks doing unkillable warrior brick stuff.
Except it actually does damage.
Yeah, it actually does damage.
With the lethals, has rerolls because you put Necrosaur right next to them, and so they're getting rerolls. And I've seen it shoot a Catan to death. I've seen it shoot a Dorn to death. It's not necessarily math, but it can definitely happen, especially in AP2. It's the old breacher method, except this is now also with the problems of an OC2 base in the unit just jumping on a point.
Which is nice.
And with all the reanimations, depending on when you do it, it can take almost your entire army to kill it if your opponent rolls a little above average. And then you have to deal with the Wraith bluff, which we all know and love. So you have that, and you have that. So, and a Catan, what are you choosing?
I don't know, man. 18 Wraiths is a trauma that I am going to just live with for the rest of my life because I lost that army a lot this edition. So, quick question. So, who won the event?
Yeah, so Ken took the win with his Sisters of Battle, and he was playing Bringers of the Flame list.
Oh, that list is so cool.
And you had the good stuff. You had Morn and Vol and her lovely ladies that come out and look at something and it dies and charge something and it dies. And he also had all the other good stuff. He had the Immolators, he had the Dominions to get the Scouts and for the trapping, Arcoflagellants. But he was running Triple Castigator, which I thought was pretty interesting. Though in Bringers of the Flame, definitely better. And he proved that just because you have a lot of that high damage shots from the cannons.
Just tons of AP.
Yeah. And when you can strip cover with an Immolator and then get extra AP from the Castigator, it makes your Retributors, which he was also running, monstrous. It makes really any shooting super monstrous on that front. And the way he was playing it, which I thought was super cool, was it was again kind of that wave style, but he would send out the split Dominion squads and the Immolators, and they'd go out and they'd move block, trap people in their deployment zones, get some kills with Meltas, Immolators that do some damage. They'll usually use a little more sparing with the Immolators, but he would build up a really high Miracle Dice count for a go turn. And that go turn would be devastating every single time.
Because he has a million Meltas in that list, right?
Yeah. Between Morbin, and then you got the freaking the 3 Retributor squads, and the Immolators themselves have good shooting with the Meltas.
Yeah.
So, and if you just farm dice for the first 2 turns, not really using a whole lot of them, and you end up with like 5 6s ready for your go turn,
you can
ensures that every fail your opponent makes is 8 damage. It's brutal.
That's number one, Kenny's like amazing.
Also,
just an incredible player. Put him on an army that just works into the meta right now in general. No, it has numbers, it has guns, and it has a bunch of things that just want to stand on circles just die because flame, which is great. Is there anything that was there that you expected to do well but did not?
In his list? Or just at the tournament itself?
At the tournament in general.
I think Necrons. Joel from the Tri-Cities got 4th, and his list was very much the good stuff list. You had a Katana, the Nightbringer, Though he wasn't taking as many Katanas. He just had the one. He had the Katana, the Nightbringer.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and he had a Locust Lord, Technomancer, Necrosaur. And then he had the big. It wasn't taking the big brick. That's right. He had a couple. He had a 6 brick of Locust Destroyers, a 6 brick of Scorpec Destroyers, a couple of Phidians.
So he was running Cult.
Yeah, and so or Curse Legion.
Curse Legion, my bad.
And so
yeah.
I was kind of expecting him to do a little better because he's a really good player also and has spanked me many times.
Oh, yeah.
And he definitely got Josiah diced a little bit in his first game. Just a
Dude,
little
those
bit.
Chessex are fire.
Those red dice of death played out very well for Josiah in a pivotal turn. But even then, I was kind of surprised. So that his list, he did take 4th. So he fought his way back from that, losing to Joshi in the 5th round against the guard, which was also, I was very interested to see how that matchup would go. And that was very cool. But
And Joshi took 2nd, right?
he did, yes.
Was he playing Grizzled?
Yes, he was. He was playing Grizzled. And his list was super cool. I think I actually might legitimately copy paste this list and take it to Cascade. Just because it looks so fun. So
was it heavy on infantry instead of more tanks or what?
His list followed that same principle of waves and just like basically cutting out all of your opponent's damage dealers until when the turns your opponent needs to come out and deal with you, you have the unkillable Cadian brick and you have 2 Dorns and your opponent's just stuck there going, what do I do? Because basically, yeah, so he had Cadian Command Squad, he had Scions, he had the 2 Dorns. So basically, from the games that I watched, he would more or less run out engineers forward to do damage, clear screens, stop his opponent from doing things. His opponent would have to come out to kill the engineers. Then the Kaskrin would go in. He had 3 units of Kaskrin.
Mm-hmm.
They would go in, hurt those units really bad. His opponent would have to come out to deal with them. And then a Scion wave would follow and would eradicate things. And then by that point, we're coming into turn 4. His opponent has held no primaries other than his home, most likely, and is sitting there going, I have to go, and brings out the rest of his force. What's left, which isn't going to be a whole lot, has to deal with the Scions, but there's still 2 Dorns talking in the back, and there's still a Nork Deadog Cadian Command Squad, Cadian Brick, which is coming forward at like OC4 with the banner a piece. So it's like almost 100 OC.
100 OC, good God.
OC. They all have 3 up saves because it's Grizzled. You can get the -1 and just really hard to deal with.
That's awesome. Who came in 3rd?
3rd was Fritz, another World Eater player.
Nice.
From the Tri-Cities also. And he had a pretty usual World Eater list. Nothing too crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. He just played it pretty well, and I don't know if he would have won his last game because they ran out of time. I think the Necrons might have got him at the end, but it was definitely like a lot of things on the board, so it could have been anybody's game.
Rad. What was your favorite game?
I think my favorite game was probably watching Kenny play Alexander Sherman, who's one of our guys, who is running a little off meta Necron list. But Kenny was kind of on the back foot because it was Scorched Earth, and I believe he went first. I can't 100% remember, but it seemed like he was on the back foot. And the Necrons were kind of his boogeyman this event, but he came forward and had a masterful turn, realigned everything, and killed both. It killed basically 2 unkillable 20 bricks of Necron warriors and a Wraith squad in a single turn, which I didn't know Sisters had that damage output. I mean, I know Morning Ball can do a lot, but it was really impressive. And there was this key moment that was really funny because he had lined up. So the Wraith brick was sitting there and he'd lined up 2 Castigators, an Immolator, and 3 Retributor squads all to dump into it. And he'd shot everything and put the Wraith brick down to like 2 Wraiths in the character. And he still had a Retributor squad and a Castigator. And he asked Alex, do you want to do your resurrection CP now? And Alex thought about it and was all like, I think I can live. And so he
Oops.
said no. And yeah, that's what she wrote, because sisters tend to use miracle dice in a funny way, which involves when the math maybe would be your Necron brick would live, 8 damage makes that 5 final pain not so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
Especially when every one of those squads can push 8 damage through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's so good. Dude,
So
that sounds like it was a great tournament.
yeah,
I'm
what?
so sad I couldn't be there, man. I'm sorry.
Super fun. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so what we'll do now is we're gonna launch into our like takes on the meta now. So you've had a really good look at it. But before that, I guess we should really kind of just get into our data slate woes here. Um, and Joey, can you do us a favor and kind of take us through your highlights first of these data slate woes? Because um what's the best term for it? Light touch is
Yeah.
kind of the where
Uh-huh.
we're at with this
Mm-hmm.
most recent data slate that came
Mm-hmm.
out the day after we recorded.
A dusting, if you will.
Yeah, adjusting of point changes,
Yeah.
a few removals along the way, but let's hit the high points.
Yeah. Okay, so I think at this point we all know, if you're really looking at it, Necron's got the biggest hit. Ultimately, what it did was make it that you're not going to see realistically the Silent King and a bunch of Satan, or Nekasar standing next to Catan helping them out. Um, we've talked about it kind of privately and even publicly among communities or whatever, that Satan spam, in my opinion, because of what I consider to be spam, is dead. However, Satan are not. Um, they're still incredible, and you will still see them. I think 2 and 3 is still very playable, very strong, very hard to deal with. You might see less of that. The problem is, as we have talked about before, Necrons have been good this whole edition. And because people were so scared of Satan, that's what got hit, and everything else is fine. So they can just fall back to what they've been doing and then back it up with 1 or 2 Satan and just kind of laugh about 10 points. So that's super fun. Like, other than that, I guess like 4 chickens is probably dead.
Oh,
Um,
for demons.
yeah, they got honestly like Lords of Change plus Karos got a bigger hit than Satan did. If you think about Satan outside of Pantheon of Woe, because they went up 15 and 20 points, whereas Satan went up 10. And you're like, meh, who cares? So that was a weird one. Other like largely nothing across the board.
Yeah.
Those are the
The
things that
Space
you're
Marine
gonna see.
changes felt big, and I think they're more impactful than we're gonna realize just from
No,
looking
that's
at it.
fair. Grabgar is huge.
Yeah.
What a it's not the first time that GW has done this edition, right? Where they just like stealthily remove something and wait for you to figure it out. So that's interesting. It does make, I guess, it makes Termgar make more sense, because we talked about it when he came out. Was like, how the fuck is he changing armor? That's not a thing that they can do.
I mean, all that happened was they stealth nerfed Gravgar by legending the model. And then they made it so all Space Marine point or Space Marine lists went up roughly 50 or 60 points. And then Termgar costs 140 points. So Space
Which is
Marine
quite-
lists are unchanged except for Calgar no longer has a Feel No Pain and 2 models are gone. Otherwise, you can play the same exact list.
Yeah, which is fine. Really, really didn't do anything. And if you look at like win percentages, the top armies still the top armies. Detachment percentages went down a little bit, right? Like Pantheon of Woe isn't the best; it's the second best.
Still pretty good.
And
Turns out
realistically,
if you just give a like the ability to come in, I roll 4s and then I roll 5s, and if I roll enough, I win. Like,
yeah.
okay.
Well, and realistically, like right now, if you look at stat check at this moment, so from this past weekend's data, Pantheon of Woe is a 64%, which is not good, but it's not egregious. Star Shatter's 62. And so I think once people just let Pantheon of Woe be dead and move on, the Star Shatter numbers are just going to go right back up. Like Obsidian's Phalanx is 75%, which is wild. That is
Yeah.
only
I'm
5
okay.
players.
Okay.
So like numbers are weird. But like Star Shatter's 62% is 167 people.
Which is
Do you,
crazy.
do you know how many of them were running the current slate of the last events and how many weren't off the top of your head?
I don't have that data, unfortunately.
I imagine most GTs that ran this past weekend were not, right?
I
'Cause
would
it was only a
probably,
few
I would
days
probably
in,
agree
right?
with that.
Yeah,
think
I would
they
assume
were
that they're
probably
not, right?
finalists.
And so these numbers, even then, like that, especially that 64% for Pantheon of Woe should go down significantly. I would also expect, and more, I guess more than anything, maybe it's a personal hope, that the 54% of Cursed Legion goes up.
It should. So that the thing about Curse Legion, in my opinion, is while it is very offensively good and it does offer like a really interesting melee pressure option for Necrons that they don't normally have. Because playing against Kirk is with his is like I don't know what to do. Um,
Kirk
it's
effect.
it's wild. Um, but I feel like that should be that most people aren't going to play that well. I guess is the best is the
Yes.
best way
Yeah.
that I can think of it because they're either going to not put on enough aggression early with their melee units, and then not be aggressive and be willing to push all those other units up the board, and just lose due to attrition and not being in the right
Yep.
position because it's not like it's a
'Cause, I mean,
fast army except for one
Necron,
unit.
well, it's pretty quick, but Necron players aren't used to playing that like that.
Yeah.
So
It reminds me a lot of the really good Awakened lists that we saw, or that we still see. They're out there. They're still really good. But you would have kind of that. It wasn't incredibly fast, but it was very durable and did a lot of damage. And so you had to really all in. Your go turn had to be everything, which a lot of people really struggle to know how to do that in a game. So if you don't all in everything on that turn, that's super important. It can be quite disastrous for you.
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would like to see Curse Legion go up. I just don't think it will.
No,
My
that's
take there.
valid. And it's the same. You and I talked about it at LVO 1 of last year when, God, what is the name of it? Auxiliary Cadre had just come out. And because we talked about how at that game, that's a geometry game. And I said, if the right person picks this up and really figures it out, it's going to be insane.
And they did.
And it's happened a handful of times, but for the most part, though, like, it's just not happening because even veteran Tau players can just go, well, I'll play Matka or Kalyan and I can do the same thing, but easier.
Right.
Or the
So
sleeper in the room, the Kroot detachment list, all gorillas backed up with good stuff suits is like so good.
it's
And
very, very
it
good.
is, and it's something that, which I mean, to be fair, not everyone has the money to buy that many gorillas.
A lot.
Very
Yeah.
expensive investiture. That new combat patrol is pretty great though for that.
It is. What really upsets me about that is that list is what Retaliation Cadre was designed to be.
Yeah.
But Kroot Hunting Pack giving them an invul is just too good to give up.
It's true.
So it's funny. I think the other thing that really kills me here is we talked about it right before we started. So as far as the meta is concerned, so the third worst army in the game is Emperor's Children, which I get it's damage to melee the army.
Right.
But man, get out of here. I will say though, with the exception of Mercurial Host, which had a 70% win rate because 2 people played it and did well. For my heart, what's nice, what do you think the best detachment is? Like the best performing detachment?
Are we looking within a threshold of player count? It's like you could be like, Obese is failing, so 70% or whatever.
Or are
Sure.
you talking about Emperor's
They're
Children in
5
particular?
players.
I get that. It is tough. It is a low player count. However, it's a weird one where I think the player count it's 6. The player count is 6, which is super low.
That's not enough.
But
what is it
it's 64%.
for OB?
Is it the Night Lord detachment, the new one?
No, it's Carnival of Excess. It's Emperor's Children and Demons.
Okay, I believe that. That list was good. On release, that Carnival Access, I remember it being quite unfun to play against.
Yeah, like yeah, because I mean it's just like Demonettes are cheap. And they have fight first, and when they have fight first and sustained, it's really cool. The same is true for like the Infractors. Infractors already murder almost anything, and then you give them sustained and they just do whatever they want. So anyway, I just thought that was kind of interesting, but that's kind of my deal. Nothing's really changed. The top armies are the top armies.
Yeah. It's just a big sad trombone of a day that's late overall.
Yeah.
So
I did get two Drukari point drops that are laughable. So
look, every one of my lists went up 15 points, and I deserved it. I'm sad about it, but I deserved it.
That's fair.
Why now? Why now is my question. Why not just leave him for the edition, and just so that we could have been like, yeah, we had the best model for 3 years. Get wrecked to everyone else. It's fine. He's still in every list. You make room for him.
Because they have to, like, GW does this thing for Space Marine players where like they take something away from you that seems important to like gaslight you into thinking that you have the room to complain about your army.
Yeah. Like, just
ready for that launch
down
box for 11. You're getting something just mind-boggling amazing at.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So
yeah, the new box.
Well, no, they
coming
did.
Out with
it's
the,
the
new
Maelstrom
detachment
Battle Force box. That thing's dumb.
I'm so like I literally just bought another Rep-X like a month ago, and I'm mad that I did it because now I have to go.
It's such a good deal.
What's that?
Deal. Well, that box is such a good deal.
It is. It's going to be
you do
like
need
250, 260. It's like a $400 box.
They're the Battle Force are $255.
Yep, and most stores run at 10% most, so it's like
you're
getting it for $230.
You do.
One.
You said you don't need 4, but you can own 6 because you can own 3 Rep-X's and 3 regular repulsors.
Oh, god damn it!
Could be good. Remember, as a competitive player, you must have every 3 of everything.
Don't. I don't want it.
And you really have no argument because it's not like your argument is pretty weak because it's not firstborn shit.
Sure.
Yeah,
it's not going away.
It's not going anywhere. They're not legending that shit.
But definitely not. Like they'll get rid of the Land Raider before they get rid of that thing.
Yeah.
Or at least come out with a new one. Okay. Hot indeed. Man, what a time. I love being a Space Marine player. It keeps me engaged in the hobby. There's always something new to paint.
Being a Grey Knight player, isn't that?
That's true. I started as a Grey Knight player.
Yeah,
that was my first army, and it's in a box. Like it's literally shoved in a closet somewhere because
I don't even want to.
I hate playing with those old ugly models.
I just see every data slate, every GW release video. The Grey Knight players are on their hands and knees, and GW's got like the big fists, and they just keep hitting them. They keep pulling their head up and hitting them, and eventually you can't rise anymore. You just got to lay there. And
well, no. Here's the thing. Like that analogy was fun, but here's the real analogy. Here's Games Workshop proselytizing everything, and all the players are in front. Like all the players representing the different factions are in front, receiving hits, and then or gifts if you're like a regular Space Marine player. Whereas the Grey Knight player isn't even being acknowledged. He is to the side, just writhing on the floor as everyone ignores him.
And in this data slate like article, they even took the time to acknowledge agents.
Yes.
It was a joke. Like they didn't do anything, but they even took the time to type out the words "Agents of the Imperium" and just ignore Grey Knights.
Fine, everything's
That's
fine.
your future.
Yes.
to be a pocket
Dude, when
factory.
they release a new range of Grey Knights, buying the whole army. Like,
Dude,
Yeah,
people are gonna go
it's
you
gonna be
can
crazy.
gorgeous.
immediately spend $2,000 on stuff. Like,
I know.
you know,
Yeah, you will. Yeah.
because I mean, I love that army. I really do. And I
Mm.
want more current Grey Knight stuff really bad. But I digress. Okay. So, speaking of our armies and confronting this meta where it didn't really change. Let's just face it, like less Catan, but like demons are everywhere. It
With a
feels
gentle
the same.
reshuffle at the top.
Yeah,
That's
just
it.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But there are a variety of ways that people are playing. Like you have lots of guard, you have uh and guard can be played competitively with lots of tanks as well. And so you do have like a very wide array of ways to win. So what are you doing with your armies? And we'll just kind of round robin with our armies to see how best we can confront this kind of stuff. Um, to confront the meta as it is right now. I'll start us off. Um, Forge Father Seekers is my answer with Space Marines right now because you can kill any unit in the game with 3 different bricks that you can bring in a Forge Father Seeker list. It's tough. It's fast and it does a billion damage. You can effectively have double oath with flamers because of Vulcan. And then so that brick, your Vanguard vet brick, runs up, does anywhere between 16 and 20 mortal wounds. Good luck not dying to that. You can also have a grenade in there. You can, and then everything else with a flamer attacking that target has reroll wounds. So that's effectively 1 oath of moment. And then your actual oath of moment target, your Sternguard veterans kill. And then you have a thing like a Land Raider Redeemer that runs around. It just deals with elite infantry like nothing. So, like for Space Marines, like just general Space Marines, that is an answer that exists that is not the Ultramarine gun line. So, that's my first choice. Bailey, what would for your one of your armies? How are you confronting the meta?
Yeah, so we'll look at guard, which is definitely at the top right now. So, but you also have to think about fighting other guard players too, which is kind of interesting. But so I ran some hammer lists with the recent Grizzle nerf to see how I liked it. I think it's super competitive still. I think hammer actually gets to have a place again up on the triumvirate of, do you play combined, do you play recon, do you play uh grizzled. Though I think for me, I'm going to stick with grizzled because it has everything that I want for my army. It may be a little more expensive here and there, but I still get to do all the things I want to do, which is a combined arms type of list. I've done the oops all tanks. I don't love it. I don't love heavy elite, all the Bulgrins and tanks either, just because there's some armies that can just deal with you immediately.
Yeah.
What I like about the combined arm list, which my current list that I was testing before seeing Joshi's list is very similar to Joshi's list. Though, like I said, I might just try out his with the Cascade because it's pretty fun looking. But I really like the idea of almost playing chess with your pieces and bringing forward and removing your opponent's pieces, and then them having to deal with it, you getting to do it again, them having to deal with it. You just keep going until you have bricks that literally your opponent now cannot deal with, and the game is yours. I really like that type of strategic play. It may not necessarily be the most killy style of guard, but there's something pretty magical to be said about just shoving OC down your opponent's throat, forcing them to deal with it. Otherwise, they will never score a primary or be able to score a secondary.
For
You
that
know,
matter, because you just own the board. So,
or if they do bring down to your command squad in Nork, and they're like, "Sweet, I finally out OC you," and you reactive order yourself in the fight phase, and you're like, "No, you don't." Now all those secondaries you're planning on scoring, they don't go off. You don't score them. So sorry. It's like that's huge.
What happened?
guess what? You didn't secure no man's land.
The one thing though that does make me super nervous with that type of play is, so that Cadian brick, which I say it's the unkillable Cadian brick, does die to the Necron unkillable brick. And Nicholas Fromme just showed me quite brutally last week that Guardian Battle Host really likes to eat those bricks too.
Oh,
And
okay.
so, and can deal with Dorns just fine with other things. It was very surprising, and his unkillable brick is also really unkillable. So it was kind of annoying with those silly Farseers coming back and being annoying.
Dude,
So
like, I saw Spirit Enclave go 4-1 on, War Games Live this weekend, and I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"The fuck?"
And I hate wraiths. Like, get those out of here. Those just scarred me greatly at the beginning edition. But I think that's kind of my way of playing against the current meta. Is you right now you have these big the top armies have these like big bricks of really silly things that are hard to deal with.
Mhm.
Even your list has these big bricks of very scary
Just
things that are hard to
a
deal with
bunch
for
of
a lot of
dudes that do a bunch of unreasonable damage, and those bricks can kill those bricks, and those bricks can kill those bricks, and it's just like, okay, it's just who gets the better go turn, it feels like.
100%. And so I think I like Grizzled the most because I can mitigate my opponent's go turn, at least with points denial, if not potentially hurting them, whether with Meltamines on my turn or whatever, but also being able to have a lot of different answers to what my opponent could bring. Because that's with those top lists, we're seeing a lot of variation of little things, but those little things do matter. And so
Mhm.
being able to, I think that's why I'm liking Guard so much, is I have so many options. I feel like with CSM, which is my other, I would honestly say main, I feel like depending on your detachment, you're really locked into what you're bringing. And
Yeah.
some of the detachments are like, if you don't go turn one, you're going to have a really rough game. And other ones are like, you want to go turn two. Like if you're playing the cultists, like, you know, you just get to just swamp the board, and it's like, oh. Same with I think the new Huron detachment. I think it's a turn one definitely,
Yeah.
but again, there's just things you struggle into, and I really feel like Guard is a take all comers army, and so for me, having the different waves, my brain just likes that gameplay a lot. So
Mhm.
Makes sense to me. It's just a good balanced way to play the game with all the threats, so it's
you don't
awesome.
feel like you're spamming things either.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah,
I hate that
absolutely.
feeling when you're like, here's my 6 units, here's my 3 Dorns and my 3 bricks of Bulgrin. It's most of my list.
Here's my 2 Rep X's, my 2 Vindicators, Calgar, done. Joey, how are you confronting the meta with one of your armies?
With my tears. No.
With my tears. Yeah.
No, I think, and it this is purely speculation. I have actually zero practice into the meta with this idea. But I think that for Drukari, if you're not a primary denial gameplay master playing Spectacle Spite, um, then I think that Cablade Cartel is the answer, because you're building a pretty like classic Drukari list where it's like, here's my warriors, here's my venoms, my scourges. I've got, you know, a number of incubi because they're fucking good and cool. And then whatever else you have, which is like 300 points in characters because they're good. Um, and then you just get to go come up to the table and go, okay, what am I playing? Um, oh, it's guard with a shit ton of dudes. I'll take sustained against all your dudes. Or you go, oh man, demons lethal against your 5 monsters, and I'll just
Yeah.
kill you. Um, and unfortunately, this is just on paper, but on and it does still hold the same problems, right? Like it does not have any staying power at all, which is just the reality of this army. Um, but hopefully, it has enough killing.
We had a cartel guy go 6 at our event this weekend. Andrew, he's
Nice.
on our team as well. Yeah, he did pretty good.
Yeah, it's a like
Like
I
on
think it's a
paper and
really
on the
good
table.
list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of tiers, quick little so, I wanted to play a lot of Dark Angels this season, but
Hmm.
it feels pretty bad to be Dark Angels player right now, because we have the worst damage to melee out of most people, because we move 5 inches. Uh, that said, you can't, so because Space Marines have access to the Stern Guard brick. The Stern Guard brick is one of the most effective tools in the Space Marine arsenal right now, just because it looks at a thing and that thing typically dies, regardless. But Dark Angels, without their +1 to wound, you are extremely reliant on those mortal wounds. The one thing Dark Angels really has access to right now that I think kind of gives them an edge in some situations, maybe not necessarily right now, it's just access to the Vengeance. The Vengeance is like one of the cheapest damage 3 options that moves forever. Um, it's like 120 points. It's not hard to bring 3 of those
I love
things.
that model too.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It is a really
Um,
sick model. That is like when I think about like grimdark, like Catholic style, like it's that model. It's the Dark Angel speeders and flyers.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. And
that's
then Inner
40K.
Circle Companion is honestly like if you can get it into any of these bricks, it will just chop through it. The only trouble with Dark Angels, you just don't have enough Asriels in the end to uh do
Need at
more.
least 3.
You need at least 3 Asriels to do more.
Yeah. Man, can you imagine if you had 3 Asriels and 18 Inner Circle? That army
Dude,
would fuck.
I'd run that list every time.
Yeah.
You got another army for us? Like what about Custodes? Is the a million guards like the way to go still?
I think it's still definitely a playable list, especially because Talons gives you actions and like options with the, especially into if you're looking at like these really big brick armies, because they need to connect on so many turns, and if you get a reactive move into a land raider with your brick, they can't connect as efficiently as efficiently as they'd want to,
Mhm.
and a 5 brick of war custodian guard hitting you on a point always does the job, almost always. So damage is good. Plus the shooting buffs in that attachment are also pretty solid. And not to mention, you just talked about Stern Guard doing a bunch of dev wounds, or Van Vets, and having access to the 5-up Feel No Pain against those is huge, army wide, or 4-up for CP. I think so. I definitely think that one's still in the running. It's probably less prevalent because you did lose like I think 3.5 to 4 guard in points increases. But I still think Lions is super great. All my custodian brethren who love the shield host, I get it. The 5 sounds so tasty, but I'm a shield shield host hater.
Skeptic?
Yeah,
Hater?
I'm a hater. I say you play Lions, or if you want to be unique and cool, go play Talons, or go play the sister detachment.
I
That
was
one's
gonna
kind
say
of
play
wild.
No Maiden if you want to be
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
I
If you want
love
to
the
get
guy
crazy,
who
you
like
will
reps
annihilate that
Maiden
one
super
T-Sun
hard.
player.
There's like the one guy who goes like X and 1 at every event going null made, and he's just like, yeah, I just battle shock you 100 times a game, and I just watch people crumble.
And if you're T-Suns, you'll kill like 2 sisters a turn with your entire army. So
Right.
Amazing.
You're like, yeah, I'm T3,
Joey,
but
do you have
I'll
another
just
list
live.
for it, or another army and how to confront the meta with it?
I don't know. I mean, demons are part of the meta, so
Yeah,
that doesn't.
they're the thing you have to look out for. So
Yeah, so I don't think there's much confronting on their side, and it's
but
just
it's going to
also
be more
just
adventuring party than anything, right?
yeah. I think we're going back to adventuring party. We're leaving scintillating alone. It was fun. We're probably done with that guy.
Yeah.
Um, I do think, and again, the problem is that it's the same problem that we were talking about with Tau, is that Incursion is just an easier game to play. That when I mean, whatever, almost a year ago at this point, when Legion of Excess was nerfed to being fair,
Right.
that people just threw it away.
Uh-huh.
It's not bad. It's still really good. It's just fair, so people don't want to
Right.
play it. And then nobody has really given it a chance, but I think Legion of Blood is actually really fucking good. I just don't have the stuff to run.
Gotcha.
Because it did actually, not this status, I think it was 2 data slates ago, that the detachment got one of the like shadow changes that nobody really noticed, and then it did get changed. So
Okay. I will say if you're a Blood Angels player, you're probably fine. Rage Curse
Blood
Onslaught is
Angels are
really good.
chilling.
It's
Or just go back
play.
to Liberator if you want to see.
What's up?
If you want to see, go back to the Liberator one.
Yeah,
That
I'll
one's
just go
great.
play lag with the
Yeah.
with the change to the medic. Like
I was
the
gonna say, yeah,
apothecary
go
was
play
pretty
lag
cool.
with fucking Blade Guard. Like,
Yeah.
get out of here.
That,
it's
that
just
looks
like-
actually looks
cool.
disgusting.
Yeah, it looks sick. Like I just think about like, I don't know, probably 12 Blade Guard, 2 bricks,
Yeah.
and then you've still got your 2 bricks of Sangard. I'm like, please don't. Please stop.
Yeah, it's brutal. At least one brick of Blade Guard with a
Definitely.
apothecary. Like that just creates a stupid problem. It's a Necron brick.
It
It's
doesn't
just
give up as much
D5 or
blast
D4.
dice.
What's that?
It doesn't give up as much blast dice.
That's also that. Bailey, any other call outs for armies and how to confront this meta?
So I have been working really hard to make Imperial agents work.
Yes.
And I know this is laughable and we joke and we say, oh, they got to mention, they got to call out Imperial agents isn't a real army. I totally think it is. Now, I think if you, the only reason you should play Imperial agents is if you want to play GSC, but you hate GSC. So, because I have been playing with the Navy Breacher, the Navy Fleet Detachment, and absolutely having the time of my life. So I throw RTs every month at my store, and I don't want to show up with guard to them. I think that's silly. I'm throwing the RT. I don't really like winning my own events. Not that I would win, but I'm just saying if it happens, it makes me feel bad. So I'm going to play. I was like, I'm going to nerf myself, and I have max amount of everything agents. And I'm going to make a list, and I'm going to play this list every RT until I win one, because why not? And so my list is pretty fun. It's 50 Navy Breachers. You have a whole bunch of the character good stuffs. I've got 3 bricks of Death Watch veterans, which are low key super useful in this meta with the 3 damage hammers.
Yeah.
Getting full rerolls against anything Xenos.
Yeah.
Pretty good. And they advance and charge with their Watchmasters. It's also pretty spicy.
Yeah.
So, but as a whole, the detachment has been really fun. It hasn't let me down. You have so much infiltrate that the jail is real.
Yeah.
And the damage, like missiles, it's like Kaskrin blobs, but you're yeeting Death Watch into your opponent's forces. And that's like really enjoyable for me because I love just like jumping in and like annihilating a repulsor executioner, because that's what happened in my last couple games that I played, which was pretty cool. And that's not really what they're meant to necessarily go against either, but they do it.
Yeah.
As well
And
as the
that's
breachers shooting grenades at 18 inches. That's pretty sweet too.
Yeah. That's it's Imperialis fleet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
I've said it, I think, I don't know, it was a couple weeks ago, but I've said it, is that if you don't look at data sheets, or army rules or lack thereof, just in a vacuum on paper, I think that detachment is one of the best detachment rules in the game.
Yeah. So let's talk about your Death Watch brick. Just doing a 5-man, going into anything your opponent happens, and you for 2 CP for 1, because you can use a Watchmaster is free. You get sustained hits, lance, and ignores cover, which doesn't matter in melee, but it also but it gives you, it's kind of like a jack of all trades. You could use the shooting phase Zeus in the melee phase, and that's great.
Yeah.
Especially on the Death Watch. And then you also have, it turns your 6 hammer attacks into like 9 pretty reliably, as well
Pretty
as
awesome.
the other stuff. And yeah, the funny thing is, like, yeah, I've been having, and it also scores really good. So the RT that I just took the last time, I went 1-3. I'm not saying I'm a god or anything, but my loss was 59 points. My second loss was 80 points. And then I won with 100 against GSC.
Hey.
Yeah, but the funny thing was I wasn't painted. So it would have been 66 points and a 90-point loss. Or a win. You can look at that.
Yeah.
But that's crazy scoring. Like, the board control was out of this world, in my opinion. And it might just be me bringing my board control knowledge from Guard to this matchup,
Yeah.
but it definitely like felt great. And like, I'm not saying I'm going to come out here and win any GTs or do anything incredible with it, but if I can really get running this list down, it's a cool list. And if you paint it nice, I think people will just vote for it because it's Imperial Agents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah.
so
This guy showed up with this army. Yeah. All right.
and everyone underestimates you. Like literally everyone comes to the table and is like, oh, this guy's out playing a real army. And then you like wipe out 800 points on their turn one. And they're kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
Wait,
Well,
how many
and,
invulns do you have?
like
yeah, a lot.
the
Which
realistically with just a minor amount of effort, like this fully painted actual agent's army is going to be impressive because there's so much character to these models, all of them.
Yeah. I love the breachers. They're so cool.
Like
Yeah.
breachers are sick, the inquisitorial agent models are cool, the rogue trader entourage is insane.
Yeah.
Like they're
the hardest
all
part,
cool.
the hardest part of that army is I didn't pay for this because I'm a marketplace wizard. But my 2,000 point army is almost $1,600 MSRP.
Yeah, that checks out.
That's like $1.30. You're paying $1.30 for every point in your list, which is
That's
awful.
bananas.
That's worse than AdMech. That's crazy.
And it's almost 200 models. That's the other thing. It's like almost 200
Yeah.
models. It's like so many bodies. So
That's great, man. I really hope you just like stumble in and kind of like kick a GT in the teeth
Dude,
and just
best
say
day of my
you
life.
did it, you know?
oh,
yeah.
best day of my life.
I took an army without an army rule and won a GT.
Yeah.
Be incredible.
Oh, it'd be like I said, best day of my life. I would have to like retire.
No, you can't retire.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Too important for that, Bailey. All right. So is there any other topics that we want to cover as far as like armies that you play and how to confront them? I think we're good.
No, I think we're doing okay. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So before we wrap, Joey, you have something you wanted to bring up today. Do we? Better yet, I think just in general, do we have some? Is this a safe space? Is what I want to say.
But yeah, thanks for making room for that. I appreciate that.
This is a safe space, and I just want to make sure that everybody who comes on the show has the opportunity to launch into a rant at any during this show, because I rant pretty well sometimes, and I want other people to express themselves while they're here. So I know, Joey, you have a rant that you wanted to hit.
I do. I'll start with just the hot take, and then we can explain it if we need to. So this week we saw the new Orc War Boss, and everybody's excited about the new Orc War Boss. He sucks. This Orc War Boss sucks. It is the exact same pose that it has been for 20 years, which is this.
Huh?
It's the same. That's the same pose that the War Boss was from Black Reach.
He just keeps getting bigger.
He just keeps getting bigger, and this one's bigger. Like I think he's like, because they said it is bigger and will be on a bigger size base, so I'm assuming a 50.
Yeah.
So he's big. He's big. So he got bigger. He's in the same pose, and he has a fucking t-shirt.
That's true.
Get it out of here! I don't want my War Boss to have a t-shirt. I'm trying to paint some orc abs.
Yeah, show me the muscles. Take me to the beach.
Give me the biker
Right?
jacket.
Like,
Yeah.
come on, exactly. Give me the biker jacket, something. Like,
It's the next.
what are we doing with
right?
a full shirt? Like, get out of here. Dude. I, as like in reality, as cool as it is, they're getting something nice. They're getting something new. It is a very detailed model that is great. It comes with a ton of customization options, which is nice because in the recent years, they've been moving away from customization options. So getting that back is great, especially for orcs. But I think from an actual design philosophy, I think this model is really boring.
Yeah. Well, he does have a tactical rock, so that's cool.
Sure, but he's not my boy Drezar with 2 tactical rocks.
And he's got a pet squig.
Sometimes, if he wants it.
I mean, that's cool.
Sure. But that's always been a thing. Like that attack squig is not new.
I am objectively mad about the t-shirt.
That's where it all
Right off the
started for me.
line. Haynes pack of 5.
Yeah, like
The boys went on it all together.
That's where it all started for me. Was I looked at it and I said, "Oh no, why does this guy have a T-shirt?" And then I started to rip it apart and just got more upset about other things. The T-shirt is the real problem. Like, he could have an open vest, anything, literally anything. He has a T-shirt, and I am not here for it.
Change out the torso. It'll be fun. Just take one of the old ones in the exact same pose.
It's gonna be yes, it is the same pose, but then it'll be too small.
Yeah, it's gonna be like tiny.
Little green stuff. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Bailey, do you have any rants you'd like to get out of your system? It's okay if you don't have one.
My only rant that I truly have, that will always be a rant for me, that I've been really getting after the people of my store about to be better, to do better, is dice tray 40K really frustrates me. So I love the idea of a dice tray.
Yeah.
And I love the idea of a dice tray that when dice go out, we roll it again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that. I'm not a dice tray player. I like my dice all over the table. Like, I'm super messy. It's my ADHD. I don't know what. But I do respect the dice tray. I like the dice tray. But every single game, except for Joshi, his dice tray maintenance is immaculate. But every single game I play against someone with a dice tray, there's always a moment where that dice falls out of the dice tray and it's a bad roll, and my opponent picks it up and throws it back in the dice tray. And you're like, okay, cool. We've talked about this. This is great.
Yep.
And then later the dice goes out of the thing to make that super important invuln. And you see that the eyes flick up to meet yours, and they're like, oh, I pass.
Don't you do it.
And it's just like, don't do it, because every time it falls to you to be the asshole and to be like, you said, we agreed.
Yeah. I thought you were going to roll it in the dice tray.
Yeah, we said it was all going to be the dice tray. If it comes out, it goes back. So that's my only gripe. I'm going to always talk about it. But like, if you make yourself a dice tray gamer, if you show up with that really fancy, lacquered, beautiful box, or a dirty, disgusting, crunchy box, either way, and you're rolling into it, the dice, they stay in. So that's my only gripe. I just want to keep preaching that.
Yeah. I've never heard that rant, but I like it because consistency is key. We should always be about that.
And I never like it when your opponent forces you to be an asshole.
Yeah.
Even if you're not, you're just agreeing to the rules pre-spoken about, it does force you to be an asshole.
I think it's cool because, like, I think it's nice to talk about because it is very much that, like, this is going to feel like it's super different, but I really don't think it is, like, on principle of you roll up to the table and you go, hey man, I'm super into playing by intent. If we talk about it, you say you're going to do it, let's do it. You forget it. No, you did it. You said we were going to, right? And then that one time where it matters that you go, oh, hey man, I forgot to say that I was sabotaging. Are you okay with me doing that? And they go, oh no, you can't. And like, that's blatantly them being an asshole, but it's like the principle is the exact same, is that you talked about something before the game and you said, this is how we're going to operate. And in the moment that it goes against you, you want to change it.
Right.
It's the great conversation of how nice can you be in 40K, nice guy 40K gaming. And like, I'm the king of, I'll let my opponent take back stuff to high heaven. I don't care. I'm here to have a good time. But that dice tray thing, it kills me because it's like, it's actively the opponent being like, and I'm not saying that everyone does, but it's actively the opponent basically being like, I'm forcing you now to make to change the vibe of the game.
Yeah.
Are you going to say no and now we're going to be sad? Or are you going to just let it roll? And so are you being the person that's dampening the vibe of the game, even though you being the person not standing by the own dice rule is the person that's
well, and especially in an environment now where sportsmanship is held so highly and most events are awarding directly sportsmanship, that you go, well, we talked about it, but if I say, hey man, like we said it was gonna, like, you were gonna keep it in the box and you passed because it bumped out of the box, and if you re-roll it, maybe you fail and then you die and then I win. And then now that guy goes, oh, he was an asshole, and then rates you poorly on sportsmanship because you brought up the thing that you talked about. Like,
it's a gun to the head. It's a gun to the head.
Yeah.
A dice to the head.
I don't have a rant. this week, but I do have a PSA that we all should always remind our friends of, in that it is March. It's coming up on the warmer part of the year in the next few months here.
And
Tournament halls are going to start to become more consistently full because they're easier to get to. And when they're full of hot, sweaty men, it can get real stank ass in that bitch. So
Oh my God.
new biome.
hygiene is important. So make sure you practice hygiene. I just want to provide you with a few very important things to remember. Number one, do your laundry 2 days before the event so you have fresh shirts. If you're a big, fat, sweaty motherfuckers, and I know there's a lot of you out there, bring more than one shirt so you can change your shirt between games. It's not that big of a deal. Bring some extra ones. Make sure they're laundered before you go. Bring deodorant to the event. Take a shower in the morning. And please, for the love of God, wake up a little bit early or early enough to get your morning shit out of the way. And you will just help everyone. Everyone at the
will-
event, if you just do those
Yeah.
few things.
I'll
including
add
you.
to it as a person who takes their own hygiene seriously, and if you are that person, trying to combat the opposite. I did it in Texas constantly. I haven't had to do it up here yet, but I might go back to it as things get warmer again. I would carry 2 things on my cart, which is spray deodorant and a pack of gum.
Yes.
And if at any point I come up against an opponent who is stinking in one of those areas, I will get a piece of gum and then go, "Hey, do you want one?" Or I'll go, "Man, it's getting kind of hot in here." Spray myself a little bit and go, "You want some?" Because it removes, to me, it feels like it removes that like stress of them or even of me going, "Hey man, you fucking stink." Of just going, "Hey, let's acknowledge it. It gets hot in here. Everybody gets a little stinky. Do you want some? I already did it."
We provide it at our store in the bathroom. We have a cart. It's got it. It's got
Amazing.
spray deodorant, gum, toothbrushes, all the accoutrement. So yeah.
Don't be gross. Come on, guys.
That's it. Don't be. It's actually really easy to not be gross.
5 minutes a day.
Yep. When you go out the night before and the Saturday of a GT, like maybe don't get the biggest meal there. Save that for Sunday night. So
Or
you don't
do if you
have
can get rid of it.
gratuitous gas the next day.
Know thy
you know?
body.
Yeah.
But hey, maybe it's just a mind game. Now, before we wrap up for the day, Bailey, you have an event coming up. You want to tell us about it?
Yeah. So we're throwing we've kind of done this with LVO in the past, and we did this for Tacoma last year, just because we at the Tacoma Open, at GW Tacoma Open, tend to be the test guinea pigs for whatever the heck, the new data slate, the new edition, new codexes. It always seems to be us. And which is fine. That's why we're one of the biggest events. I think it's super cool. It's a blast. It's kind of anyone can win the event kind of feel. And so, but the one thing that I started doing to combat these events, especially with how the data slate seemed to come out before them, is to throw a no holds barred ultra competitive grand tournament. And I waived the paint. So if you show up with a non-painted army, you're not taking a -10, because the goal of the event is to understand the meta and for you to try lists and see what the heck's going on, so that you're not painting this beautiful army and you don't know, and then you go to a tournament and you get wrecked with it, and then you're like, crap, I have to bring this army that's not going to perform the way I want to. Big cry, sadness.
Yes.
So we're throwing an event on June 27th and 28th up in Ellensburg, Washington. It's smack dab in the center, easily a drivable distance from most of the west side and a lot of the east side. And it's usually pretty popular. Now, it is a Shark Tank because we allow people to bring whatever the heck they want because there's no paint requirement pretty much. And the last one, we had like 20 players in high ELO numbers out of like a 40-person event,
Hell yeah.
which was kind of scary
I love that.
to watch. But it was fun.
Look,
And so, yeah.
I
So
love
we'll
that.
be doing that again, June 27th, 28th. We're going to shoot for 50 people. We'll be at the Ridge Bar and Grill. So adult drinks while you're playing, always awesome. And if we hit 50 or at least really close to it early on, I will go to the Moose Lodge in town and rent that, and we'll go to 80. And I'm attempting to get a golden ticket, and I'm attempting to get Joe from More Games Live back, which would be awesome.
Very cool.
That would be great.
Yeah. And it will be good AC, not hot. Jeremy won't have to play by the bathroom 4 rounds in a row after it gets bombed. So that'll be.
That was hard.
So
that was one of the worst days of my life.
But
It
we'll
was so hard. I'd get my table. I'm like, great, next to the bathroom. Someone take a shit. And it's just like, what did you eat? What is
All
inside
morning.
of you?
all morning,
like, no,
30
you
big
go
guys
back in
blasting
there.
that thing, and you were just fighting.
Crazy.
But so that will not be the case this time. And it's just gonna be a really, really big. You went to the Ridge on one of our first GTs we did, Jeremy, and it's a great spot.
Yeah, it was a great venue. Lots of open space. No two tables touched each other. It was
Beautiful.
It was great.
So that's the goal again. It's only $65, and it's just gonna be a good time. A lot. If you want to rub shoulders with some players, if you're newer and you really want to raise your skill level by getting smashed by someone really good, it's a great event to come and get kicked in the face.
Go to the events with the highest level competitive players if you want to get better at the game. Like
Always.
always do that.
Yep.
We'll take a couple moments here to also thank our local friendly local gaming stores. I'll take a moment to celebrate the Gamers Haven here in Spokane. Bob, Gamers Haven. If you are in the area, check it out. It is a beautiful store. It is like it's 2 stories. There's a whole play area up top.
The best.
The area below is like massive amounts of stock and options for hobby and for everything. So like go check it out. Again, that's the Gamers Haven in Spokane. Joey, do you want to tell us about Real Deal?
Yeah, look, if you're in the area and visiting Gamers Haven, then why don't you drive 30 more minutes? Come to Coeur d'Alene and see Dale over at Real Deal. It's a great little place, growing community. It's a like some pretty decent space. Most of the tables don't touch each other. They're all tall, which some people like and some of our short kings dislike, but that's okay. And while you're looking it up, we also have a GT in 2 weeks or a week and a half, the 21st of March.
March of McCrag.
Yep, March of McCrag, 21st and 22nd. We have 3 tickets left.
Oh, nice.
So
for those of you not, because that's the weekend of Cascade Clash, right?
It is unfortunately the same weekend as Cascade Clash. Yeah.
And then Bailey, what's that little store that you own and operate?
Windy City Toys and Collectibles out of Ellensburg, which is currently right now the windiest freaking place in the world.
No way.
It's so windy. I felt so bad for guys leaving the GT this weekend because like they were leaving and like you just weren't ready. So I was telling everyone, grip your boxes tight. And so yeah, because it was really windy on Sunday. But but it's a windy store during the spring. But yep, we got an awesome little store. We just moved to much better location as far as like AC and heat goes, and just better layout. And I will say we had a GT, and it was pretty full, and it didn't smell bad. And there was constant air because we got ceiling fans. There was like constant air movement.
Love that.
And
Nice.
Didn't get hot at all. Didn't get cold at all. The bathroom was nice and spacious. And there was and even with the usual tournament bombings of the bathroom, you didn't notice it. So that's pretty great.
It's a big step, and I love that for Windy City Toys and Collectibles.
Yeah.
But thank you all so much for joining us this week. Thank you, Bailey, for being here. We really appreciate you, bud. Thank you to our Patreon members. We really appreciate you. If you can support us or are willing to support us, please check us out there. Otherwise, please share us with your friends because we welcome your comments, your questions, your suggestions, and topic requests. But we'll see you next time at the yacht.
See you around.
Adios.